All right, everybody, welcome back to the bench. So this week we're going to take a look at the Zaffiri Precision ZP3 Glock 19 Gen 3 slide. This will fit a Glock 19 Gen 3. It is a very, very good slide. I have it in OD green. It comes in a number of different colors. It comes in black, OD green, of course, FDE, and stealth gray, I believe is what they call. If you head on over to Brownells, you can use code BOP10, save yourself 10% off of one of these slides. Brownells, it does not sponsor this video. They did send this slide out for purposes, and I have to tell you those purposes, which is review. They sent the slide out for me to review. They do not sponsor this. There is no sponsored ad here. But if you do want to go pick up one of these slides, use code BOP10 over there at Brownells, save yourself 10% off. They do have some stuff every once in a while where they give you like 15% off. And in fact, there might be a Labor Day code coming up here pretty soon where you get 15% off. So if you guys want to check out one of these slides, they're very good. They're very nice. And yeah, so let's get into the pros and cons of this slide, what I wanted out of this slide that I just didn't get, and then some of the cool parts about this slide that I think you guys are really, really, really going to dig. All right, so some of the pros right off the bat of this slide. It actually feels really, really light, and I do want to say that it is lighter than an actual Glock slide, but I will roll in some weights of this stripped along with my Brownells one stripped with just the sights on it and the internals and the barrel. We have the same exact barrel for both of them, so I'm going to roll that in, no optics, no nothing like that, and we'll see exactly what they weigh. We'll see what the difference is, and we'll go from there. But one of the cool parts about this is if you have like a Holosun 407C or an RMR or any one of those things, and you want a really, really deep cut optics cut on this, Zaffiri Precision has you covered. This is a very, very deep cut. As you guys can see, I would say that this is definitely more than the lower 1/3 of the window. Actually, it's probably at the very most of the lower 1/3 running these Tyrant Designs suppressor height sights. These are a very good backup iron sight if that's the route that you want to go. I don't necessarily love the look of them, and to be honest, I'm probably going to go back to my ACRO set that I have on this one and just transfer these sights over to here because I like these ACROs even more. Yes, I realize that one is backwards. I know that one's correct. No, it is backwards. Look at that. That's backwards. If I realize that, a lot of people may have different, whatever, but I've never actually tried this slide with a true co-witness option. So I will try to, at some point, pick that up and let you guys know exactly how that is. But Zaffiri Precision does have a really, really, really deep cut into this. It does work really well. It is fantastic. As you guys can see that optic sits very, very, very low on this slide. And that's what a lot of people go for when they want an optic in their slide. They want a very, very low cut optic. Now, I'm a little bit weird, and I'll show you why right now. Now, this slide comes with a set of screws. It comes with nothing else but a set of screws, and it comes in this cool little plastic container. But it comes with these set of screws. These screws are specifically made for this. Don't use anybody else's screws. Use the ones that Zaffiri provides. And if you need extras, contact Zaffiri, and I'm pretty sure they will let you buy some more. That's really what you want to do. Now, I went with a Dauntless Engineering plate. This Dauntless Engineering plate is very, very, very good. I like these Dauntless Engineering plates. I have not had an issue with one. I'm running one right here on my 509T. They're coming out with one for the EPS carry, and they just work for anything with a ZEV style of post. Now, Dauntless Engineering, when you buy one of their plates, they do send out the ZEV screws. They're like the 4-40 or something like that. Whatever the ZEV screws are, Dauntless Engineering actually sends out a shorter set of screws that do work really well. But you can't use them on your Zaffiri slide here. When you use these on your Zaffiri slide, they don't have the contact. So you do have to use the supplied Zaffiri Precision ones that they send you. I don't know what they are. I don't know if they're a different thread pitch, but I did go ahead and test a little bit with another one, and it just didn't seem to go in right, and I'm not going to mess up a slide that I am selling to my friend. So that's what ended up happening. I'm selling this slide. Now, the reason why I'm selling this slide is because not that Dauntless Engineering makes, terrible products. They don't. They make phenomenal products. This plate has undergone some strenuous testing along with the 509T plate that I have, and these are just really, really, really good optics plates. If you guys are ever out there and you guys want an optics plate, you have a ZEV style post one, and you want a good optics plate, I think the price point is under $60 for these plates, and they work really well. If you buy the ACRO one, it's available for the ACRO and the MPS. Now, I do have to tell you guys also, Dauntless Engineering did send out this plate for me to review. They are an awesome company. They sent this out free of charge, or one of them out for, I think I bought the ACRO one, and they sent out the 509T one because I told them I was interested, and they were like, already in the mail, dude. They're a great company, fantastic. I highly recommend if you are looking for an optics plate that you want to work with these things. These are the lightest plates I think I've ever felt. They are hollow on the inside. I have some CHPWS plates and some other ones, which, don't get me wrong, they're really, really good. But I helped them kind of develop their spec for the 509T. The 509T is a fantastic slide mounting option. If you don't have a direct mount slide, you went with a 509T, and you have some sort of ZEV style posts, definitely go out and check out the Dauntless Engineering. So I got a pre-production model. I helped them. My 509T is very old. I've had this thing for, I want to say, 2.5 years now. It's still holding strong. It's still a great little optic. With the Dauntless Engineering stuff, I helped them out. Mine was a little wiggly after a couple hundred rounds on the range. They told me that my 509T was wildly different in spec in terms to all the ones that they've tested, and they've tested numerous ones. I guess a bunch of their people in the shop had them, and mine was wildly bigger. So they ended up tweaking everything. I have no wobble, no nothing with this 509T, and this is their production model of this plate. So going into that, now I told you this is about the slide. This all literally loops back into everything else. These plates on this slide work fantastic. They are really good, especially if you're going to run the Steiner MPS. You will be able to co-witness your sights with this plate. When you run the ACRO, it's very, very minimal. You can barely just see the top of the dot there, and I will try to show you that right now. But if you're looking here, you really can't see anything with the ACRO. It doesn't look like it, but I swear in like real life, it's like a sliver. All right. Now I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, backup iron sights. But if you run the MPS, you definitely can see your dot in there. I'm sorry, not your dot, your backup iron sights at the bottom. So I will tell you guys right now, the Steiner MPS definitely has a one-up on the ACRO for the ability to mount a lot lower. Now, I don't know if you guys can see in there, but the emitter is up top here on the Steiner, which is what makes it so tall, right? But then you go to the ACRO and the emitter is on the bottom, as you guys can see right in there. The emitter's down here, which makes it to where the optic has to sit a little higher to house the emitter. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It just depends on how low you want your optic to be when it's mounted and what you can use with it. So if you really, really, really want that, I highly suggest if you're going to go with a plate system and you're not direct mounting, run the Steiner MPS. If you really like the like me and you're an aimpoint fanboy and you just love the way the ACRO P2 looks, definitely go with the ACRO P2. I think this is a far superior option for your handguns when you're running these. I personally love the ACRO, but when it comes to using plate systems, especially for a lot of slides, even the ACRO slide or the ACRO plate that comes with the ACRO or the Steiner, one of them comes with a plate. I don't think it's the ACRO. One of them comes with a plate. That one, it's still a very thick plate. It's heavier. I will show you the weights between the two, and it is just as thick. You also can't even run it on this. You have to run it on the MOS platform. So if you have a Glock MOS, I would definitely recommend the Steiner MPS for you. That would definitely be a good option. I don't have a Glock MOS. I don't like Glock MOS. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I think the superior part of everything is the ZEV. We will have a video on the ZEV frames, going over it and how it is pretty much the P320 of the Glock world and how it's far more superior, but we're going to have that a different day. Going into the slide for the Zaffiri Precision. This has been a phenomenal slide. As I've stated, or maybe I haven't, but if you guys look here, I have, this is a ZEV rod for the ejector, or extractor. I'm sorry, not the ejector. This is quite a bit longer than the Zaffiri Precision one that you get in the Zaffiri Precision kit. Now, if you look at this spring, I literally had to dig this out because of this spring. I broke this spring somehow. I don't even know how, but I broke this spring. So when it came to this slide, I was having tremendous issues on my first range trip. And I didn't necessarily understand it. I was literally like, what the fuck? Like, pardon my French, but when I got this to the range, I was like, God damn it. Like, I fucking hate this goddamn thing. And I'm out at the range, and I grab this slide, and I put it on, and it works phenomenal. I'm like, well, okay, maybe I have just way more rounds through it. Maybe it's just a better slide, blah, 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 blah. Like, maybe I'm losing my mind. I'm shooting this, and I don't see this, like, I don't see this at all. So what I end up doing is I end up taking out my upper parts kit out of this gun, and I slapped it in here, and I did not notice that this was bending. This was not nearly as bent as it was. I don't even think it really was bent. But I did notice that this happened to be a lot longer. So this was putting a ton of spring pressure on the extractor here. And when it did that, I just think that I was having major issues. Fast forward to my next indoor range trip was about a day later. I picked up a Zaffiri Precision upper parts kit, and I just slapped it in here. I had to fight this out. I wanted to throw it across the room. It was stupid. I think it was the dumbest thing in the world, and I had so many issues. And Zev, I don't know who you're using for your springs, but I hate you, and I will never buy one of these again. I will definitely buy your striker system, because this is phenomenal, and I love this thing, but I'm never going to buy that. I'll just stick to buying the Zaffiri Precision upper parts kits, especially like the slide completion kits. Those things, I mean, they're awesome. They come with a lot of cool stuff. They come with like the slide backer and all the other fun stuff that you'll really want, but I'm going to tell you, it's not as crisp. If you're going with the striker channel assembly here, it's not as crisp, and it's not as lightweight, and it doesn't feel as smooth as the Zev, but it is very smooth. Like I will tell you guys right now, I probably had a 4.5 pound trigger pull consistently with this striker channel, whereas this one was definitely sitting at 4 pounds all the time in my Zev slide. But I just think there's just different tolerances with Zev and all this other stuff, and you have to remember when you're not going with OEM parts, you're going to run into problems. It happens, and I understand it. So, meanwhile, swap it out, go to the range, no malfunctions. Not a single thing, not a single problem, no malfunctions. I've had a couple of failure to ejects, but I think that's just crappy ammo, stuff like that. I've had just random ones of those, and as you'll see, we are running a ported barrel. So, do the indoor range thing, have no problems. And then I decide to get cocky, all right? On my last range trip, you guys have noticed that I went with a Glock 19 frame in the Zev OZ9. The Zev OZ9 kind of annoyed me with this frame. I'm probably never going to use this frame again. I will probably send it back. I don't like it whatsoever. So we went back with the OZ9C 17 style grip. Now this is a fantastic frame. I highly recommend, if you guys are out there, I will have a video out shortly of this frame, but this is awesome. I love this. So in my whole thing, I decided, now that I've got this slide running perfectly, my buddy wanted to buy it. He really likes it. That's what he wants to do. I am going to go ahead and just sell him this slide, and I'm going to pick up a ACRO direct mill slide, because that's really what I want to test out. I want to test out, is the ACRO going to be good enough for me and what I want to do? And then I also want to be able to test out the ACRO and the MPS kind of side by side on a direct milled slide and kind of just see how they work. Does the slide have tight enough tolerances for me to take the optics off and put it back on and still have them hold zero and do things like that? Which you don't need to take these optics off for any reason once you put them on, but I really want to test out a lot of things, and just things I can't really test out with one of these slides. Not that it's a bad slide, but I just don't like RMR cut slides anymore. I think from now on I will probably just be ordering direct mill optic slides, because I'm not going to be messing with optics plates. And if I do, it'll probably be like a test bed gun where it's a slide like the Brownells, where I can test multiple different styles of optics and not have any issues, because these Brownell slides are awesome, but they're no longer made. They're literally just going out of style. Brownells is getting rid of them. And they have the non-direct ones in the, I think you can buy the ported barrel with the completion kit, and they have them, and the slide isn't direct milled, so you can mill it to whatever you want. That's totally cool. They should probably have that same option for this, or since Zaffiri Precision does the ACRO cut, maybe charge a little bit more like you do for everything else, and just see if anybody at Brownells would want to buy a Zaffiri Precision ACRO cut one. I think that would probably be really good, especially for Zaffiri, especially for people like me who want to buy slides that are just, they're just simple, like this OD green simple slide, where I think you could pick these up for around $300 at Brownells, this slide. It is a little bit pricey, but it's not as pricey as some of the other options out there. As you guys can see, it still has these really, really good serrations. It has this front lightning cuts right through here. I mean, it's very, very light. Like this slide, I mean, it feels like a feather. It's phenomenal. And I don't have any issues with Zaffiri. Now, I know a lot of people are probably going to see that a long time ago, I did a video with a friend of mine, the Tactical Rabbi. Great guy, I know him on Instagram. He's got a YouTube channel. I think it's called NDF Train. No, his YouTube channel is the Tactical Rabbi, and his website is NDF Training. I did a video with him. He sent me a slide that he was having some customer service issues with Zaffiri Precision. Now, I don't know anybody over at Zaffiri Precision. I don't know how to help them. I don't know really what other people would do with Zaffiri Precision customer service. I've never had to deal with them. I've had to deal with Brownell's customer service, and they're phenomenal. They stand by their forever satisfaction guarantee. What I will tell you is that I think that Zaffiri dropped the ball, but because I went ahead and attached myself to that video, I have been left on red by Zaffiri Precision for any sort of reaching out to have them send stuff out for review or anything like that. So I kind of have to go through third party or buy it on my own. Now, I'm not complaining about that. I much prefer to buy products, but when I buy products like this, I cannot spend as much money on them. So I'm not making this review in order to get into good graces with Zaffiri Precision. What I am trying to tell you guys is that I've had bad customer service experiences with companies, not Zaffiri Precision. I never went through that. My buddy Rabbi did. But I've had bad customer service with companies that make really good products. And I've had customer service that is way above par when it comes to just making poor quality products too. So I say all this to tell you guys that one opinion that I have is not going to, maybe Zaffiri does have piss poor customer service, and we'll find out when I get my custom slide from them and we go to the range and we see if it works. The other thing I don't want is I don't want to have to deal with all the crap that comes from working with a company. So when it comes to this, Brownells did send out this slide. I bought my new slide directly from Zaffiri Precision. There is no tie, I guess, from them to me. Maybe there is, maybe something auto-filled in my Google stuff, but I didn't order the slide being like, hey, I'm using this for blah, blah, blah. I don't expect any kickbacks from Zaffiri Precision, and I don't really expect that they will even care about my review. As I said, I'm just a drop in the pond. So I think that this review has gone on long enough for me to tell you guys, I personally love this slide. I would buy this slide 100 times over. And it is not because of anything that Zaffiri has done or said or anything like that. I personally think they just make a good product, and I like it. And I think that you would too. If you're out there and you really, really want like a 100%, like my genuine feelings of something, this is one of those things that has that. And I hope that comes across on camera to you guys. This slide is phenomenal. I like this slide. I think it's great. I am going to drop this in my brand new Sonic cleaner. I'm going to clean this up for my buddy, get it all nice and cleaned out and done up. And then I'm going to put it together. I'm going to lube it back up for him. I'm going to give him this slide. Or not give him, he bought it from me, but I'll give it to him when we, do that. So, yeah. I know this video is long-winded. I'm sorry that it is long-winded, but yeah, my review of the Zaffiri Precision optics cut for the RMR with these stupid posts that I think everybody should get rid of. Get rid of these. But if one major con, get rid of these dumb posts. I hate these posts. And now I realize that Dauntless Engineering is making all their money off of these posts. They're not. I mean, they do so much more stuff over there. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, if there is one thing I hate more, it's Zev style posts or these protrudy style posts. I just don't like them. I think they're kind of trash. So what I will tell you, go ahead, go on out. If you're on the fence about a Zaffiri Precision slide, go pick one up. I think it's a fantastic product. I won't have any links down below if you want to go check out our Reddit. I will have links to everything over there on the Reddit. So there will be links down below for Reddit in the comments and in the description. So go check out the Reddit, go check out all that, and there will be links that help the channel with this. So thank you guys so much. If you want to buy one of these slides, and then I will also have links to where I don't get any kickbacks from Zaffiri Precision, and you guys can go buy one of their direct milled slides. As anybody would say, I really love you guys always and forever. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for tuning in and listening to my ramblings. As always, be a hoodlum.
All right, so I have the X grip back on here. So we have a full 17 size grip. All right, on the beep, timer man. Beep.